Hi there, welcome back to Event Ghoulies. This is Sebastian, and I'll be walking you through today's video as we explore a Mystic Museum and the Total Grotesque live exhibit here in Burbank, California. All footage on screen was recorded on January 24th, 2026, and this makes it the first video of the new year. This area in Burbank, specifically the street of Magnolia, has a lot of unique horror shops and things to look at. I did film a very minor video that showcased the area, but that was for the Terror Market video I released back in November. This is right across the street from that, and I wanted to do kind of like a trek in Burbank at some point, but I figured I should just isolate the Mystic Museum exhibit by itself and give it its own spotlight. There is a lot to see here, and that's not including the exhibit that's coming up shortly. Total Grotesque Live is what I believe, I understand, is like a kind of a Hall of Fame type of exhibit. It showcases all of these horror movies, horror properties, and that we, the guests, get to vote for which one will appear later in the year. So I actually went to the opening last year, and this was BEG, before Event Ghoulies. Of course, I didn't upload anything or take as much footage or photos, but I did go, so I do have some footage to share last year. There's only one instance where a scene changed, but all in all, it's still more or less the same layout. So coming up is going to be purely focused on the Total Grotesque Live, and I'll show you parts of the other Mystic Museum shops.
Check out the lineup you voted for. Who's going to make it number one? Will it be Pain and Pleasures with their song Chains of Hell featuring Pinhead? Maybe the Clown, formerly from Balloon Knot, with his solo debut, Sienna Slaps? Or should we mark this day as the day he came back with his long-awaited comeback song From Behind the Hedge, DJ The Shape? So make your ranking in the top 10 at the end of the exhibit. Enter the voting portal by hitting pound 666 on the line, and I'll summon you in.
There's an extra little knife you could buy on top of your ticket when entering Total Grotesque Live, and this knife activates various little effects throughout the exhibit. It's cool. Some things are cool, but overall, I would not get it myself again. I said when I bought this twice. I bought it originally when I went here for the first time, and I bought it again just for the video. So if you aren't gonna do that, I would just go out and skip it. And you could probably find someone else in there who's gonna use the knife and just kind of watch from the back, all mysterious. So yeah, I wouldn't say that the knife is worth it. But this part coming up with the Hellraiser section inside of the exhibit, I really like it. It's kind of creepy. It's very dark in there. It almost feels like you're actually in the room with Pinhead. So I'm gonna play the audio for that coming up. So this part is completely brand new to me, at least. Last year when the exhibit debuted, it was for Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I did get to record some footage of that, so I am going to put that up here. It's more or less the same size. There's not as much compared to the other portions of the films that this exhibit got, but it is a nice little getup for Midsommar. Right across from it is Child's Play, as you'll see right now. There's a big Chucky you can stab, and he'll play a voice line on it. It's kind of hard to record, and a little light flashes right behind him, but I still wanted to record all the good guy dolls behind him. There's this giant room in the exhibit that hosts 3 to 5 little movies in there. There's Scream, there's Killer Clowns from Outer Space again, but just a little popcorn machine. The Exorcist, Conjuring, and of course Terrifier coming up later. The Conjuring section had a unique activation where Annabelle would appear in the container, as you can see soon, and then she would disappear after a while. That didn't work for me. I'm not too sure why that was the case. I did get to see some other guests activate it, but I myself couldn't do it. I have no idea why, and I was a little disappointed that I wouldn't be able to get photos of that or even video, but it does happen. It is something you can do if you do decide to come down here and check it out yourself. The last room has 2 films. It is Halloween and Halloween 3, along with Hereditary, and I think it's the weirdest room, not because it's bad, but the Halloween 3 masks aren't themselves. They don't even exist. They're all AI. I kind of question why they didn't bother getting actual photos of the masks, because they are, I'm pretty sure, like anyone can use. They're Dawn Post masks. They're not specifically from the Halloween 3 film, but the trigger activation with the knife is pretty cool. Michael does peek behind the hedge. It wasn't working that day. He's a little camera shy, probably because the AI was scaring him, but I did get him last year. He was feeling a little bit more bald that day, I guess, and he had a bit of a fro, so that's coming up soon. So we're coming at the end of the video, but I wanted to give a quick little tidbit. While I was recording this specific section of the Mystic Museum, my camera suddenly turned off, and it's never done that to me before. I was kind of confused as to why it did this, but the Mystic Museum is said to be haunted. As you can probably tell, it did have a lot of occult stuff, a lot of spiritual stuff. Maybe I just caught something that didn't want to be recorded, but I ended up re-recording the footage anyways because you're not going to tell me what to do. So here's the remainder of the Mystic Museum. It's a large little occult section, I guess you can say, and there is a giant ghost face. This has been a staple of the exhibits all throughout whatever one they rotate. And you can visit the Mystic Museum whenever you want. This is going to be year-round. I believe it's coming to an end in May. They usually come around last for a year. So sometime around May, I wouldn't doubt that this one's going to go down, and the next one will come in. I do like to check this out. I've been coming in Mystic Museum for a while, or just the shops in Burbank altogether, you know, Halloween Town, Mystic Museum, Blast from the Past. I would like to give them their own videos individually, but we'll see. I know you can't film the Halloween Town, so maybe not one, probably not in the cards. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. We really do appreciate it, and we got some really cool stuff coming up. So please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and follow us on Instagram to keep yourself further updated on future videos. Thank you, and goodbye.